Hi, all. Thanks for joining today. My name is David Milano, and I'm from REALTECH, and I will be talking about a former project that we just did last year, lesson learned from a completed S4 project. And we're REALTECH, and we're the basis experts. So let's get started. Excuse me. Today's agenda is we're going to tell you a little bit about who REALTECH is. Some lessons we learned from an S4HANA Brownfield project. And also, we're going to touch a little bit on our Smart Change automation solution. And then we'll do some Q&A and then some closing. So we have 30 minutes today for the webinar. I'd like to thank everybody that joined. And let's get started. So who is REALTECH? REALTECH's been around for over 25 years. Really focused on migrations, technical migrations on premise and in the cloud. Started back in '94, moving from one database in OS to another database in OS. We are lift and shift. We are migration experts. That's our niche. That's what we've done forever. Anything in the basis area, so we staff augment for basis, as well as do SAP technical upgrades. Just added to our portfolio is we've done some projects around SAP BTP consulting. And then we're really focused on Smart Change, which is really our SAP change and transport management solution for automation, approvals, and auditing. So Smart Change has 4 modules. It has a transport management module. It has a synchronization module, change process management, as well as an interface management module. So we've been a partner with SAP for over 25 years. We're certified. Our software is SAP certified for integration with S4HANA. And then we're also certified in the Run SAP implementation a few years back. So been around the block. All we do is focus on SAP, helped thousands of customers migrate from one platform to another. And today we're going to focus on what we learned in our utilities project last year. So the first lesson that we learned is to make sure when you're going through the process of looking for an SI to help you with your project, that they have experience, right? Interview them, ask a lot of questions regarding your requirements. Of course, before you do that, I recommend you run a readiness check in your ECC system, so you have some baseline of what you know, where you are in your ECC environment, and what it's going to take to go to S4. There's a lot of SIs out there that'll come in and say they've done these projects, but they really haven't. So just do your due diligence when you're interviewing them. Make sure they have migration experience. And what we found is doing these projects is we're the basis folks, right? We work with functional teams, other SIs all the time. So it may not be just one big SI, let's say the big 4, who can do it all, right? And they say they do it all, but they don't have the experience of doing it all. Sometimes it's great to have a migration experience team like REALTECH, as well as let's say a functional team such as Natuvian, right? Our 2 companies can come in and really work closely together and make your S4 project a success, versus one big SI, which is really leaving yourself to risk, right? If there's a problem, if things aren't going well, you're stuck with them. Whereas having different teams or different SIs that do this niche work is going to really lower the risk and make your project more of a success. Okay, so the second lesson that we learned was during the project, establish a PMO team. Have detailed project plans that are all communicated to all teams involved in the project. The PMO team should consist of an internal management team, a project management team, and the SI leaders for those key decisions. Okay, sorry about that. So having those project plans, those rescue charts, technical and UAT testing plans, server build forms, what testing tools will be used, etc. You know, they should be reviewed and communicated to all teams before the start of the project and reviewed weekly as a team for buy-in. And I found this during our project last year. The more meetings we have with the key stakeholders and with the people who really understand what's going on in the business today, the better off we are for the project, even when the go live happens, right? Testing is a must, right? Must be built in and performed during go live. I'd even say before go live, during go live, and even after, right? I mean, test, test, test. The main thing to consider is you will encounter challenges, right? It's an SAP technical upgrade to a new database structure in HANA, right? So, you know, maybe a network outage happens, other project timelines happen, maintenance windows, things are gonna stop your project. We need to have those buffers built into that project plan, you know, not saying months, but buffers built into the project plan. So to keep everybody on track, but to be realistic in the fact that, hey, we're gonna go live, you know, 8, 10, 12 months from now. And it's going to hit that date, and hypercare is only going to be a month. So don't press or compress the time windows just to meet a date. It doesn't work. I can tell you. So lesson number 3. Testing, testing, and more testing. I just spoke about this, but this includes testing everything you have today from the functional teams, you know, documenting it, having spreadsheets. This should also include testing once the system is turned back to the functional teams after the copy and the migration, right? This will help make go live much smoother and hypercare much easier. Some key points that we did was we had our functional leads create spreadsheets of transactions they use, record screenshots of the test, pass or fail, use a test management tool. We use Solution Manager Test Management. There's Tricentis, there's HPQC, there's many testing tools out there that you can use to make the process easier, but I recommend definitely having some kind of tool in place and involved before the project. Don't have the project start and say, oh, we need a whole new solution manager and we need a management test Tricentis or test management up and running before we even go, you know, we already started the project. Have that done ahead of time, right? Make it easy on yourself. Implement or top lessons number 4, S/4HANA Brownfield Migration Project, implement a change management tool. So Jira, ServiceNow, etc., HP Service Desk, and have automation processes before the start of the project. Don't do it after. Again, these tools will help coordinating with new requests. You'll be able to track changes that are happening within the systems. You know, such as transports, change orders, work orders. If you can, you know, REALTECH has a Jira Smart Change integration for SAP transports. The bottom line is emails and spreadsheets are way too complex for this, and can cause finger pointing, which leads to unnecessarily duplicate work. Basically, the more tools you have in place that'll help you with the process and working through the project, not just a project plan, but also a change management tool and an SAP transport management tool, you're going to save yourself a ton of work. Okay, the next one is implement an automation tool for transports into the new systems. The tool should really do 3 things for you. Workflow approvals, protect the newly copied systems from technical checks like overtakers, collisions, dependencies, and it should automate the imports. You shouldn't have to fill out a transport form every time you're doing a transport that needs to go into the system, or be managing this via spreadsheets. It's too complex. Put a tool in place. You can have a software as a service model where you're running the tool for 1 or 3 months or 6 months or 9 months, whatever your project is, like REALTECH, Smart Change, and then you'll be able to manage this so much easier. You're basically saving your team a ton of time by eliminating the manual processes, which is the transport sheets, the spreadsheets, who did what. Was this transport supposed to go into the system? It wasn't. So now you have to redo the system copy and redo the migration because something broke, right? You can avoid all these hassles. The sixth one is have a strong basis SI involved, right? Realtech has been doing this for many, many years. We know how to do migrations, right? We understand the sum DMO process, how it works. We can do system copies. You can trim down the go live with many migration tries because you're actually, running these mock runs to, to try to streamline the migration, right? Streamline your downtime. You need someone who can adapt to changes in the project quickly, right? Who knows solution manager. It's not a requirement, but if someone needs test management solution manager, it's got to be built in there. One that has done over 1,000 migrations successfully. We never failed. We've never had a rollback. And Realtech is the premier partner for these brownfield migrations. Just an example of the project plan we did last year. I'm going to go briefly through this. It was 12 months, or sorry, it was 10 months. In this case, 10 months, where we started from February and we were done in March and they went live. Just some examples of the best practices. There's a prepare phase that you should do for your migration, planning system requirements, your maintenance planner, your readiness check, and then of course your custom code analysis in ECC. If you're doing a brownfield, you're basically lifting and shifting the whole system from ECC over to S4, so you're taking all your custom code over there. But you should do an analysis, see what's going on, how many custom objects you have in your system, because they will need to be adapted after it goes to S4. The next phase is the realize phase, right? That's where the migration happens. You use some, you do the data conversion, then you custom code adapt, and then you cross application specific follow-on activities. So your post steps happen after the realize phase. But plan for a downtime, plan for testing after the custom code adaptation. Because that's a big phase. Little bit of a technical slide here, but this is what really some DML process does for a migration, right? Takes your source database, it upgrades, and runs a prepare, executes the upgrade, switches the database connection, then migrates the application data, finalizes the upgrade, starts SAP system based on the target database. So you can see there's specific parts where there's uptime, and then there's specific parts where the downtime is needed, right? So source the database continues to run. There's no longer used to store the data. You're basically moving from ECC, the source database, whatever that database is, over to S4 and HANA using some DML. So now I'm just going to touch on a little bit about our products, right? So we have an automation product for transports. It has workflows, it has quality checks, it has an import schedule built in. So you can manage changes in transports according to a process, right? So what is Smart Change? Flexible automated workflows, quality assurance or proactive technical checks, supports transported copies, has an integration framework for Jira, ServiceNow, and it's a bolt-on inside of SAP. No additional hardware is needed to run our software. We put it in with transports, create some RFCs, and it's up and running. So what is it, right? It's a solution for many requirements. It helps development leads, functional teams, quality managers, auditors, change managers, CIOs, and administrators, right? So we basically help our clients streamline transports and changes within these types of projects. So you don't need to manage everything with a spreadsheet or send emails that a transport needs to be put in, or maybe there was a wrong transport that got put in, but Basis did what they were supposed to do, but in the end of the day, the bigger SI said, well, that wasn't supposed to go in yet. Well, this would eliminate all of that, right? This would eliminate that problem. So yeah, highly recommend to use a also SAP change transport tool like Smart Change, as well as REALTECH to help with these brownfield migrations. So in closing, there's a lot of preparation that can be done ahead of time before the project. So do your due diligence. Having a PMO team that cares about all the team success is key. You know, you really, when you do these projects, have to set aside the agendas and the egos and leave them at the door. It's not a point finger here, it's their fault, or do it faster, things like that. You have to work as a team to make this project a success. Having a strong basis partner is key for flexibility on the project and know-how, right? Implementing SAP automation tools helps to streamline simple tasks, right? Testing, and more testing for an easy go live. Can't be stressed enough. Hypercare should be 1 to 2 months and you're off and running. Any more and steps were missed and you rush to go live. What we've seen with other projects is they don't build any buffer in. They're pressing everybody to go as fast as they can, and mistakes happen. It shouldn't be that way. Push to go live if you have to. I'm not saying months, but maybe weeks. And if unforeseen circumstances happen during your project, you should have buffer there, right? And in closing, REALTECH's the premier basis company that specializes in helping clients do these brownfield migrations. And we're here to help you succeed. We would love to talk to you more about your project and what you're doing, and how we can help. Finally, good luck. It's a brand new S4 system, and now you have innovation at your fingertips, right? Everything that SAP has told you for the last 2 years about getting the S4, once you are there, you will see the benefits. It's a great product. If you need to learn more about Smart Change, here is some links, and I'll send this out to everybody. Some of our clients that we've helped, move or also use our software are on this page. And my name is Dave Milano. Thank you so much for your attention. Here's my contact, and I would love to reach out and send our slides and send you the webinar and talk to you more about how you're going to move to S4 this year and how we can help. So thank you so much. Have a great day.